you got to do. You got to get those.
Say it every
points
week,
tonight.
and it
Even
might
if you
be
get
our
1 or 2 points. That might be the
unlucky
difference.
omen.
1 or 2
But good luck,
points
boys.
goes a long way.
Yep, I have.
But
Good
if you
luck.
have the opportunity to stay out, maybe for
Once again, we're going to need it.
Yeah.
It's going to be
It's
really
bound to show up
interesting.
sometime.
Qualifying was going to be really important because that stage is going to come up, and before you know it, it's going to be here.
With all the drivers sent to the end of the line, up front, you'll watch out for Gavin Rogers. Ryan Kelly will be your front row as we get prepared for some racing action here at Darlington. Green flag is out of the air, trying to get a little bit of a better push. Is going to be on the outside as Drew Jua going to be giving a massive push to the new yellow machine of Zach Hall. Hall running a throwback scheme, so the drivers as well going to be having their own throwbacks here this evening, but a little bit of blinking action from Ryan Kelly, and it already has slight damage to Drew Jewell, who runs in third, in trouble for top board. He goes down to the apron.
Is he going to be able to save it? He's going to come up, and wow, luckily able to keep it off everyone. That right there could have been catastrophic with how close the field was. You have to give a huge shout out to him. Get down, slow that car down, and we have that battle up front still. Did Ryan Kelly get back ahead of Zach Hall? No, he did not. Zach Hall still going to be the leader.
Zach Hall leads lap number 1. A bonus point so crucial for himself. Here is the primary yellow car that we've seen all season long. It's Aaron Smith II challenging with his Lucky Ducks teammate of the 07, Brian Noel. Trying their best to hold strong on the outside and staying 2x2. Difficult to do here at Darlington. You don't want to stay sideways for too long. That's losing time for one. But also, you could find yourself squeezing each other into that outside wall as, in a sense, right on board with John Forbes in the 11 machine. He's got Nick Crawford as well as Vincent Sorge into one another. Slowing down both drivers. They're going to be almost 3 wide going into turn number 3. Watch out for the squeezing motion, and somehow, even with all
so tight, trying to get on the throttle behind him.
Together, but for how long as they graze Vincent Sora and John Forbes up for 4.
This track's not wide enough to go 3 wide. You can't do 2 wide. Very hard going through the corners. You can go 2 wide. You can see right here to creep way up against the wall. You need to be there and get down to the bottom right here to exit the corner to slide back to that wall. And then you got to get blinded by the sun. Look at this view right here. These drivers, they cannot see that well getting into turns 3 and 4. That sun is really challenging when you're looking out the windshield.
Extremely challenging for the field here this evening. But it will transition to a full night at some point during this race, and all these drivers know it's just a waiting period before the sun drops behind the grandstands and you're not really staring down that barrel of this blinding light just out of turn number 2 as right on board with Edward Shore Jr., a driver that is the furthest back of any other driver coming into tonight. The 71 knew that his task was going to be most difficult. 9 points back from the cutoff line where
29.4
coming into this evening. Where they run right now, though, with how Brian McCann is dealing with the penalty of being sent to the end of the line, right in 22nd position, it's still wide open for the 71 to try to make a heroic charge to gain major points here tonight.
It is wide open. It's still early in this race. We're only lap 6. Still got over 140 laps to go. Anything can happen, but most importantly, he's got to try to get up there inside the top 10. It's going to be very challenging. He's got to try and get every corner he can. He's got to at least lead a lap.
29.595.
See on screen, Drew Jua trying to stay in front of Larry Yingling in that red machine. And Drew has been a driver that we've seen be willing to be aggressive here tonight. The aggression level, a little unknown on what we're going to see as he's gotten his victory last week to Talladega. Might be willing to play a little bit more patient, assist his team if possible, to help Edward Shore Jr. to move on. But right now, settled in third, watching Kelly, Hall, everyone just ripping the top piece out of the corner in. That's where the main speed is. And I'm curious, Justin, if you've heard any different, but I heard a lot of drivers talk about the outside lane's where the speed's at. Inside lane, if you can make it work, that's how you're going to protect your tires.
Inside line, just, I feel like anytime I would run down there, I always prefer to run down on that inside line. Yeah, tires. Maybe, I feel like the updates are always changing, but that outside line, you definitely get that momentum coming out of the corner. I don't know. I tell you what, Sam, Darlington was never my strongest track, so I can't give the best feedback. these drivers, I think they're going to be figuring out when we're going to watch what Zach Hall's doing, Ryan Kelly, Drew Jua, those guys running up there in the top 3. They'll kind of give us a hint to where it seems right now, like a Gavin Rogers, he's running up high and he's cutting down low coming out of that corner. He's making moves forward, passing a couple cars after starting in the back. Joshua Canada there, right behind him too.
Joshua Canada needs to get moving forward at some point if he wants to make sure he stays inside of our top 11 moving forward, as you're seeing Gavin Rogers just slicing his way through this back half of the field, currently in 22nd, trying to get by Ali Fonseca for 21st position. So we looked at Edward Shore Jr. runs in 13th, the furthest back in all points. Gavin Rogers is the driver that has the most points entering tonight. He had a 28-point buffer to work with, and he's hoping that he can continue to move forward. As saw one driver lose all of his track position, that being Tom Bourne.
Yeah,
he
good
was
stuff
trying
there.
his best to move forward for himself. That's Bourne, Dakota Moniz, Cedric Hunter, they have their own battles back and forth as we run on board with the 13th Cedric Hunter. He's watching Tom Bourne trying to farm his way forward. These positions back and lost after that being pushed off into the apron on lap number 1.
You're seeing how aggressive the drivers in front right here are running, making a little bit of slight contact.
I would love to see my breaking point just once.
It's really hard to get these track positions here.
Oh, me too, trust me.
Right here to move to the inside, but there's that sun again, that factor going into the corner just kind of plays with your eyes. You're going to get close to each other again right there.
Still inside, clear low.
Now he's going to lose that momentum going into the corner. Just open up and move. He's going to walk to the inside. But that's the problem, Sam. You go to make a movie. If you can't make that movie, you lose that momentum. Now you put yourself at risk of losing another spot.
Yeah, you can lose a spot going into the next corner, or just find yourself trapped behind drivers that just are not able to make any passes at this moment. As Cedric Hunter, Tom Bourne, they'll be side by side. As Joshua Canada is watching Ryan McCann, and these are all drivers that need to get moving forward because they could be losing out touches some big points as we are closing in on halfway before our stage is over. Stage break comes through you quickly, end of lap 30. The drivers are going to get bonus points. You win the stage, you get 10 bonus points. You get second, 9, third, 8 points, and continues to drop down until we get to 10th position, where you only get 1 bonus point, but it could be that crucial. We had 3 drivers tied for 13th in points coming into tonight. That's your cutoff just outside looking position.
Right now, as we look on screen, what I'm seeing is a 9 kind of gets up there in the wall a little bit. It just seems like
I freaked out there for a moment thinking like, you know, I had a pretty good gap on the guys behind me, and all of a sudden this car came out of nowhere. It's coming up. It's already Gavin coming up through the field.
All running that same speed. I mean,
gosh,
like a single
marching up to the front here.
And these drivers just can't really pass, Sam. It's going to put the emphasis on really making sure you can close the roads.
What position are you in?
You can't lose time.
I'm in 21st right now.
You got to try and gain a spot here, a spot there every time.
Yep, middle of 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think all drivers are recognizing it.
I was just on the exit of 2 and 6, so we're all pretty.
Okay, all right.
We're all pretty stacked up here.
And the unfortunates of drivers that were sent to the end of the line because of their penalties from last week at Talladega, and how it was going to change up everything. One driver, though, that has been
Need to chill. I was getting really tight, and I was like, are we close to the stage? And it was lap 13, so I was like, shit.
A little bit quicker into pit road as he's got required damage for the 98 machine. But up front, it is all the 32 of Zach Hall, who continues to be a half a second ahead of Ryan Kelly and Drew Jua. And the rest of the field trying to figure out, how do we catch up to the 32? And then how do you pass them? Because everyone's running the same lane here at Darlington.
You think maybe...
I just can't wait to never see that sun again.
Yeah.
29.8. I feel like Darlington sometimes just kind of sets you up for those long runs, but maybe 30, 35 laps into a run when drivers really start having trouble handling that car, maybe we'll start seeing some big time comers and goers in the field. But right now they are just so.
Hey, I saw my breaking point.
18 laps into this run, we got 12
All right, lap 18.
Yeah.
Very challenging to pass on this type of track right now.
Extremely challenging. I think it also puts you in a
Getting on the gas too early in 3.
Like to go for a pass, as it's got to be a mistake.
29.965.
Wiggle giving Thompson check a chance.
Leaders running 29.769.
But if you can't confirm that your guy that dive bomb move is going to work, you got to get back in line like we just saw there. Thompson check if he didn't get in line as quickly as he did, he could have been on a very quick path to lose over 4 positions in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, especially that entry to turn 1, where drivers sometimes they get below that white line and use a little bit of dip down there and slide up high, but it seems like anymore, that was the old Darlington of many years ago. Now these drivers entering a little bit higher, they're almost able to block that move, and they slide down there below the white line going to turn 1 and 2, and it just seems like that took away a passing opportunity that used to be almost guaranteed at this track back in the day.
Yeah, it really was. I feel like a lot of drivers also, I was talking with them, trying to get a sense of what tonight's racing could be. And a lot of them said, trying to go for a pass into turn number 1, it's going to be very difficult, very risky. Underneath the point, especially later on in the run, as Tom Senchek's trying another chance to get below the 17 and has to back out. But it's more so going into turn number 3, where you've got the best opportunity, but you have to make sure you get a good run out of 2 to attempt that pass. But that's going to be your best chance because of the hard braking. Drivers are downshifting into turn 3. It's a way to try to outbrake your competition. Maybe even a chance to go for at least a pass here late in this run, as we've got 10, make it now 9 laps to go before the stage is over, and your top 10 drivers look pretty solidified at this moment. The battle for 10th place is between the 70 machine of Aaron Smith II you see on the screen and John Forbes Jr. right behind them. Both drivers that need big points.
And there, John Forbes is under pressure right there. 71 Escher Jr. is going to try and get into that 11th spot and then maybe get.
Are you tied at all, Stitz?
Aaron Smith and that would be so.
Might know a little loose in some spots, but definitely tight.
Okay. I started diming in 3 a little bit, coming up about a half a lane, and it's really helping instead of wrapping the bottom.
These guys might have to start using
If you get tight, but if you're not, don't worry about it.
Almost being spun
Definitely
off the
tight behind a
nose.
car, that's for sure.
Really dove it in.
Yeah, I'm entering low and sliding up about a lane.
Luckily for John Forbes, didn't make contact, but we're starting to see some slight differing on positionings as you see the likes of Bronson Stafford and Gavin Rogers. This is battling going on for 20th and 19th position. They continue to go back and forth on who's going to be where, as Brian McCann now is going to move forward. And Bronson Stafford, Brian McCann, a little bit of contact, drifting is a 61. Stafford keeps it in line, and that gives opportunity for a couple of more drivers to go for some passes. 3 wide for a quick moment. Hunter is able to make the move forward, and Stafford gets used up, and he might get used up a little bit more. Is going to be seeing Andrew Medlin and Stafford rubbing against one another off the exit of 4.
Right now, Stafford's got to be getting a little frustrated right now. 2 laps in a row, drivers getting into him. But this is right here. We're at that point. We're 25 laps. We'll have to mark it down, Sam. It seems like these guys are starting to slip and slide, and with the track being so narrow, you kind of slide right up into anyone who's on the outside of you.
And Aaron Smith II, as that action was going on.
5 to go to the stage here.
To 12th position. John Forbes now moves up to 10th place. He's been trying to go for a potential pass on Tom Senchek. Edward Shore Jr. is right on the back bumper for that 10th place position. This group continues to be in line, and a chance of a wreck just seems to be looming as each lap goes by. Some drivers look to be braking tight. Some
Just
look
can't
to
get a
be
run.
off the exit, and
Yeah, I noticed he's been holding y'all up.
Looking bad for some drivers. The patience level is dwindling away. 4 laps to go left in this stage once Zach Hall crosses the line again, and drivers know it's crunch time to make some passes as Sherwood Jr. giving it a little bit of a bump to the 11 down into turn number 1.
You see that right there. He was really pushing. John Forbes wanted to make sure he enters side by side so it could give him a chance to get up there and make this pass around Chris Stiss. That's a valuable point. Can he do it? He's got under 4 laps to go. He's got to get that position to be inside the top 10. The 71 wants those points. Every point's going to be very important for him.
71 wants that point, same as Aaron Smith II. I mean, he's just outside that cut line as mistake by Stitz gives an opportunity for the 71 to go for a blitz pass to 10th place. Now Aaron Smith II will be to the inside for 11th position to get by Stitz, and Stitz continues to falter backwards as we stay green. 3 more laps to go before the stage is over, and the fights for that final bonus point, they're not done just yet.
They are not done. I think it's valuable to say that throughout this night, we'll be looking around that lap 23, 25 range.
Wave around.
See the tires just fall off, where we see cars that were able to stay in that group and race single file. All of a sudden, the ones that pushed a little too hard, they're now starting to really fall off, and that's what we'll be
Can I get a wave around
this
too?
race is to see drivers are getting side by side even more now, back in the middle of this pack.
As you're seeing Nick Crawford trying to figure
burnt
out
my right front trying to get around him. I just
fell back.
Yeah, the good news is I'm still pulling on y'all. The bad news is everybody in front of me is just running away. So I'm kind of right where I need to be right now.
If someone gets into that
No problem. The whole field gets away with it.
Everyone's on chains.
to make sure they don't run into one of
All right, that works for
Chains
me.
ass, but
final lap of the stage. Your top 10 look to be pretty solidified as
Yeah.
Zach Hall looks confident up front.
Which, to be fair, he's doing a good job holding y'all up.
Opportunities are there.
He is doing a great job. I just, like,
The 32 exits turn.
I don't know how to create runs here. I was trying everything and nothing worked.
Try the outside in 3 and 4.
Yeah. Oh, 3 and 4, and then he'd slide up, and I just got so tight coming off of 4, I couldn't get a run.
Fifth, Ken Campbell in 6th.
How are you doing, bud? Oh, that was slow. I thought I had it.
Sinchek 8th, John Forbes 9th, and Ed Pure Jr. was able
I know
to
we were
get
racing for that whole point, John, but it was a little sketch that second block.
To get those points as coming across the line.
Yeah, I honestly wasn't even looking in my mirror. I was trying to get around, get the Toms inside, and yeah, that could have been bad.
Gets that 7th place position.
Were you at Tom's inside when I got you, or no? Because if you were, then that would have made sense why you did what you did, and I understand that.
Campbell to enjoy those top.
I was gonna say yes after
I don't
that.
know if I was there, like when we made contact, I was pretty close. But yeah, I was pretty close to his left rear.
25.
Yeah, if you choose A, I'm not mad at you. If you choose B, I am. Which one was it?
I'm thinking we're going to want to stay out here, but I'll leave that up to you.
Really falling apart, and we're trying to
The 15 did
stay
it.
on track.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Always
good
good
answer.
for
Zach Hall
15.
was able to do. He was able to be even faster while leading the race the whole time, so he's got a really good car, short, medium, and long run. But right now it's going to come down to pit stops. It's going to be very key. So right now, hit the box, cannot lose any spots, and we know everyone's taking 4 tires. There's no reason anyone's going to even gamble, consider taking 2 or 0. Maybe they'll prove us wrong, but I don't foresee it at all tonight.
With someone who's
Here we
further
come, guys.
back,
10
maybe
away.
about staying out for an extra lap, and
5 away.
like a Joshua Kanata, who's already
That's
so
your
far
mark.
back,
Turn it,
stay
nice
out,
and easy.
take
We're
the,
gonna be leading on
wave
me.
around the end of the line penalty, since you're already back there. Just to get that
87,
bonus
94.
point.
This is what the
Looks
front
like
of
no
the
one's
field
willing to
looks
take
like.
that gamble and risk. It's going to be Zach Hall. First to hit his
81,
box.
94.
About 7 laps down,
From
or
pit
excuse me,
road as
11 laps
drivers are
down.
taking
Go,
off
hard
further
out,
back in the field up front. Hall's waiting for his serves to be completed. Well, the driver's racing forward, and it's Hall. Will be the first driver out.
Man, we really did
Kelly,
need that.
Dallas Newbegin, Larry
Fast up pit road.
What?
Looks like that we're going to have...
I don't even have a black flag, and it says drop to end excessive speeding in pits.
All right, buddy.
Really?
Up
Wow.
behind 25.
Zach Hall
That's strange.
is going to be your
Yeah,
stage
I didn't
winner.
get the black.
We will try to bring up our stage winner, get his thoughts on
Hey,
tonight's
Steve, do
race
I have
so
a black
far.
flag? It's telling me excessive speeding in pits, but I don't have a black flag on my screen at all.
Sam and Justin up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you guys.
I think you removed that option out of your INL.
I know you're, the driver
Apparently.
pole. You got sent
I
to the
don't
line. You kind of
see
took control
one.
immediately. What's it
I
look
never
like up
got a
front?
black
Because it looks like
flag.
You're making it look smooth sailing so far.
Yeah, Norris,
Oh,
I know
really
I have the
good,
wrong
man.
number.
This track has not been my strongest.
That's
suit to
strange.
start
I've
with.
never heard of that.
Did a
Yeah.
lot of practice this week and
I
found
don't know where I
something,
am.
and it- whatever it is, it works. I got
So-
kind of
Darlington, Cody.
I kind of just go and.
So what do I do here? Because it's telling me to serve something, but I don't have a black either.
51.
Glad to see. I know
Come on,
Ryan
behind
like, he
the
was
0,
coming
7.
up, but I think we were building a pretty big gap.
All right, looks like you're going to be
Well,
lining
look
up
at Johnny,
behind
we
the
did.
28. Looks like you should
It's
be
telling me
lining
to
up
drop to
behind
end for excessive speeding in pits, but like I didn't, and I don't see a black anywhere. And he's race control. He should see the black flags.
Yeah, I'm not on my screen. I'm not showing a black to you either.
Okay.
Stay where you are.
behind the 38.
I can try to
Oh, for
clear
sure,
you.
yeah. I mean, Gavin, we tied
And it won't do it. It's a drop to the end. You can't clear a drop to the end.
We don't have a black to begin with, but we can try that.
He's gonna be quick. I was looking at the averages. And
So just take my spot back then?
Rivaling my longer run speed, so I know.
Yeah, I would
somewhat
say,
I'll probably see
at
those
least
guys.
try to clear it.
I imagine we'll get a few cautions to bring them even closer, but as long as we can keep track position.
Okay,
at this
yeah,
place,
that
it's
cleared.
A huge benefit. So I would love to see it go.
Oh, it did clear it?
It did.
That puts me in the best position.
It's still saying let people by, but
Oh, yeah, so, Yeah, drop to the ends. It'll always tell you let them by, so it's gonna have to
Okay.
be a
fun-filled race after that.
That was so weird.
Positions. Are you
One to go.
about this race?
Could be on the inside here. 10.196.
Yeah, I do get nervous then because it's just a little bit more, you know, with nobody really
15,
going
did
100%
you,
there. So when it gets like that, I don't really know if I have everything to hold everybody
Did
off.
you leave a
but
closed pit?
I think if we can have long runs, I think that's where I'm gonna have my benefits. So
No, I
hopefully-
pit with everybody else from 6th place.
All right, well, Zach, we're gonna
And like as soon as I exited,
Good
it
luck.
said
Good
excessive
night.
speeding in pits dropped to N,
That's
but
gonna be your
I
snowy
never
Dizzle
had a black.
Racing driver in the 32 of Zach Hall. You're also
That
your
is so
stage
weird.
winner.
Yeah, before I didn't have a black kill either.
Justin, stage is over. We
First
got
10-4, thank you.
150.
You might have to clear your black again, maybe.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. I might get a black.
It's telling me to let the 38 by, so I may need another black clear after this. I'll let you know.
Clean the bad boys up. You ready to rock and roll?
I bet on pit road last week. I could have asked you that.
Yeah, they wanted the points, but they also didn't want to damage
I didn't
the car.
speed.
One flag, be ready.
Drivers were out. But I think this next half,
Yeah, you can let me
it'll
buy.
start getting a little interesting. And like Zach said at the end, a lot of cautions.
I'm getting worried.
Right now, we got the restart. Zach Hall's going to choose the inside. But Ryan Kelly.
But race control doesn't have a black for me.
Pretty smooth, going off them.
Yeah,
Black flag. If these guys come slow, don't pass them, buddy.
I say you'd be fine, because that's got to be a glitch.
I'll need one cleared now for passing, please.
Still outside. There will be a caution.
In the back, yellow
I think
flag
they want
is
you in single
out,
file.
and a majority of the
Pits are
inside
closed.
field caught up in this
You're going to
one.
be...
Hey, come by me, Stitz.
I mean,
Justin,
I get that it sounds sketch, but race control didn't have a black for me either. So,
Yeah,
and he gets everything. So that's the weird part.
Between Thompson, Jack,
Yep,
and Edwards,
exactly, yeah.
in front of the 70, got him in trouble to back off, and everyone else did not. And they ran
Ooh,
over
that was close.
second. A couple of other drivers involved in this one.
I think you called it perfectly. We're going to see everything you said right on that replay.
I got in it, but I don't know what happened. Someone just jabbed on the brakes in front of me, and I couldn't check up.
All the people lining up behind the door.
We're going to see, just like you were walking through, it's going to be right here in this, yeah, right, oh, notice the guy in front of him there, Escher Jr. kind of got up in the wall.
Yeah,
So you said you were in it. Are you killed in it, or
close to
just
one another?
track position?
I got some, it looks like just physical damage, but I'm getting all my spots back.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah, you're way up there now. Yeah, I can't even see you anymore. You got
I'm definitely going to pit, because I got some damage of some sort.
Second, who is the driver that spins around, but here's
I mean, I didn't get a long look, but back bumper looked. I mean, I think your damage is on the left front, which I couldn't see.
Yeah.
Whole right side obviously looked fine.
Chaos erupts
It's
behind.
bowed up on the left front. I just
Sam, it's so weird. Darlington, I feel like, is so famous.
kind of
for
want to
this.
look at it too,
Seems
because I have
like
no idea
you
what
go out there,
happened.
You get in this rhythm of having to slow down and use so much braking, and then you get these new tires, and you think you could drive off into the corner. And I swear there's times where it almost feels slower for the first lap or two, like the tires are so
25. Got the lucky dog.
Not sure if it's just like
Car
a
coming from the
iRacing type
outside.
thing, or if that's how it is in real life.
Okay, 40 seconds optional.
I wonder if that's kind of what happened there. Maybe just
Hey, Vincent, just
not too bad.
a little bit every once in a while.
Tell you what, I lost 2 spots on that restart and do not care, because if I had to go all the way to the back for that.
Service done. Aaron Smith the second, who got
Did you
most
hit
Yeah,
the wall
yeah.
on the way by, Cody?
pit road.
I was expecting to get in a wreck there and be like, well, should have been right.
Restart. Gonna be still Zach Hall.
Okay, I see what
talking to
happened.
me,
That's
man?
unfortunate.
Second, third's gonna be
Pace car in 3 here.
Fourth, in fifth is Shane.
Oh, thank you. Let me know when you're out of 4.
Yeah, can you see it better?
Gonna predict that
Yeah.
moment of drivers building up.
He's
attempts
rolling out of 4
to
now.
go for big runs, and
Oh, I got 10 seconds. I can just come get it.
with these
Restart
big
zone.
starts,
It's a throwback to
because
Aaron
have a
Smith.
Thank you.
small
I'm
time
out.
to make these passes immediately, but we send ourselves to take a look at the weather because you can see the sun starting to
Aaron
set.
Smith is
Here's
dead.
how the weather has changed so far. The track temp is
You're on
been
all
a
teams, by the way,
decline.
Tyler. So
Yeah, it looks like the
everyone
guy
might
in front
not be
of Aaron Smith, he got in the wall,
He
and Aaron checked up, and I couldn't see it. I didn't even see the guy in front of him, and I just got into him.
To 86. So those are the practice from the
I'm actually there.
And now we're racing on a completely different track.
Dakota, are you
Sun
seen any
starting to
damage
set.
anywhere on my race car? I don't think I touched
That
that
shade
thing.
is going to cool that track
but
even
I just
more,
wanna make
would
sure.
think. And that's just going to change the handle of these cars.
Nah, your car's
Earlier
clean,
in
man.
the Stage, he was hoping the track kind of stays the same. I mean, it
Yeah, I
is
was going to say the
change.
same thing. You're
It
just
is
blinking
where
every
the
once in a
drivers
while.
have to adapt and have to be.
But other than that, your car is
be able to stay with
perfect.
everything. And we're here, lap 39. So
Yep,
we
par
set
for the
up
course. Thank
over
you.
110
I don't know
laps.
what's going on with my quality now. Usually it's the page fault, so now my quality is just through the roof.
Get
So.
settled for this restart.
Yeah, it's not
terrible. It's like milliseconds you're gone. It's hardly even noticeable.
Norris in 12th, up 19 positions. Also,
Thank you.
John Force Jr., who runs 16th. In 6th, is up 12 spots. And Edward Sherwood Jr. up 11 positions in 9th place. Some drivers that are still trying to recover after troublesome positions that they've been caught up in. You got Aaron's with second, Chris Stitz.
Want to go, man.
Y'all starting in first or second?
I'm in second, just because I'm so far back.
I'm in second as well, and like I'm not starting good.
Okay, so the 15 did come out of the pit box, he get 50 miles an hour, and he will be good.
Excuse me, Tom Bourne, who's on
Wow.
the recovery run after the last
Dun.
Okay. He said I didn't get a black.
Getting ready for this restart.
He has software that shows if I get a black flag.
Presuming could be happening here on this restart. I know
I should take the EOL now, but he's not giving me an EOL. So,
Yeah. Oh, okay, you just got it.
all right. But like, I don't get it. He has software that says if it's a black flag. He said he did not have a black flag.
Over because of an incident.
Yeah, that's
I don't-
Alright, iRacing didn't issue a block.
I don't care if you go back and do.
You see that right there on screen.
Get them elbows out, get into one.
People speed all the time, but if they don't get a black, you don't retroactively do that.
For the most part, everyone's still out there, so you can.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I get it, and that's fine, but there was no black, so I don't understand why we're retroactively giving me
We're about to
one.
go green, so these drivers need to settle in.
It doesn't pop up. It just shows. It just tells you to use the spot.
We are
On the
green
crossing.
once again, and you see Andrew Medlin getting ready for this restart further back in the field. He wants a good launch to make sure he stays at least in a decent position. But you see in the middle of the pack, it is claustrophobic. It is feeling a little bit chaotic, and the 12 has got a handful as he tries to come back
Wow,
on
just
the
got that
track.
guy
and everyone else
wrecked.
whizzing on by, and Medlin. What a sight for himself. He's just watching everyone passing him as he goes from challenging inside of our top 15 to now outside of our top 20.
Clear
Yeah,
high.
he got super.
That is so dumb.
Or something coming out of the corner. Not sure if someone got into him, but he lost a lot
I'm
of
not
spots
saying I
in
didn't
time.
speed. I may have. I'm just saying there wasn't a
So you
black.
have to work and battle back up through here, but he's following some fast cars, so hopefully he'll be able to make the moves as they make the moves.
Outside.
Up front, Shane Terry,
Okay.
he's stuck on the
Door
outside.
outside.
In a position of watching a few drivers
Clear
going
him.
on the outside groove and making these passes work.
Outside.
John Forbes and Shane Terry have been staying side by side for a
Door
bit.
outside.
Also behind them, going for a 3-wide attempt. It's Gavin
outside.
Rogers. He will try to go 3-wide down in turn number 1. That's the back out of it. Sloppily.
Clear.
But that was some heavy pressure, and Brian Noel, because of assuming he was going to go 3-wide, gets into Christopher Norris.
We have other people's spotters. We have other people's spotters saying, "Hey, he did this." That's ridiculous, man.
Once again.
It's like the next play in baseball or football happened, so I don't feel like they should have been able to have retroactively done that.
Oh, you're good. You're the one that comes to vote now.
I'm not salty at all.
It's just right now, no room, and they're going to make contact there. The 07 and 38. Noel.
You may have. I just hate this track so much that I'm blaming myself for everything.
All the help of Gavin Rogers kind of muscling Norris forward. And now the 75 has to settle in and look for an opportunity to find a chance to go for a pass. Christopher Norris enters here tonight just wanting a decent race for himself as we run
Probably would have been better if he should have just said, iRacing gave you a penalty, then I'm sorry.
Yeah, like if the first time, like be like whatever, but then he cleared it and then goes back.
Just skip it.
Yeah.
Noel's now going to dive it down low. This shouldn't work. Norris hits the brake.
Oh, well. Good thing you're not in the playoffs.
And fine spacing as everyone backs
Outside.
off gently in. Ooh, that should have been a wrap.
Still there, good door.
Keep it together.
The 07 was luckily
Still
on this line
outside.
right up there.
29.75. Clear.
If not, he could have been stuck on the inside, and these drivers were all hungry to get around him on that outside. He made the move though, and that's the thing. He got the position. He fought hard, got the position. That was hectic as anything. I mean, Gavin Rogers had a view in front of him for that, but Nick Crawford getting into the wall seemed like he just could not get off the wall for that moment there, and it kind of stacked up the whole field. Like,
Now I'm just driving pissed.
Yeah, I don't know how they didn't wreck with.
Yeah, it's working though. Keep doing it.
29.677.
I'm just following you. You're making the holes.
Everyone found their openings to move up just a lane to give the 07 time.
My tires are going to be shit in about 5 laps.
Straight for now. A couple of drivers getting back out on track after getting damage repair. Ben Keeney's been dealing with required damage. Justin Forbes and Tyler Dangler showing up a little bit late, as well as Cody Reed, all having their own different storylines as they're multiple laps down. We're left with just 27 drivers on the lead lap. We look at 4th place and 5th place runners. That's Larry Yingling in the 67 red machine, Shane Terry in the 9 black and green, trying to make their way forward again. This is the battle for 4th place, currently underway.
Watching that battle for 4th place, I'm watching right there in the back of behind this battle. How about Tom Senchak, the 26 car? He's running really good inside that top 10 and staying up there in these first 50 laps and hanging right with these guys, showing he's got the speed. And I think back to some other races we watch, he's a driver who's not afraid to make those moves, Sam. He could be one to definitely watch out for. He's under pressure right here, though. He's going to block. Look at this. He's going to block the 71 of Ed Shearer Jr., trying to break that momentum. And he's going to maybe keep the position here, as Ed Shearer Jr. is not going to have to run, or is he?
Trying to hold back, and it looks like for Edward Shearer Jr. had to let off just slightly off the exit of the corner to make sure he didn't run into Tom Sinchak, but they'll stay in line for now. It's all about getting that good run off the exit of the corner to give you a chance for a dive bomb move going into either turns 1 or 3, and the drivers all stay in line. Oh, but also banking on a mistake, as Darlington, one of the tracks that, you know, we're talking about setting up these passes, going for these massive runs, but I would say, Justin, it's also a track that's notoriously known for being a track that people say is you race the race.
Can't wait to look at the replay and send in a report of all the shit that other guys are doing that they don't catch. Wait for them to get EOLs for that.
This track to get baited into doing something that you shouldn't, and then you overdrive the car and you get up into the wall, and then
yeah, good luck with that one.
Yeah.
Start bending wheels. But right here, these drivers, as much as they want to race a racetrack, I mean, they're racing each other right now because they're all over each other, and this is going to be that crucial point in the decision making. The drivers, it's early enough in the run so that you can be abusing those tires, and when we get to that lap 20, lap 25, like we talked about, are you going to pay the price? Is that going to be where you start really losing time to everyone else, especially these leaders?
And as these drivers are out on track, again, we did have that early caution that kind of is going to push out that window we're looking for. That's going to be that lap 25 of green flag racing for the next, I would say, in the next 10 laps, around lap 60, if we stay green until that point, is going to be that lap 25 of green flag racing on this set of tires. And that's when we'll truly see who's been protecting, who's able to attack and go forward. But for now, the front pack all on top of one another, our top 8, keeping it close, all within 2 seconds of one another. One driver, though, that is almost inside of our top 10, who grabbed the pole officially, but was sent to the end of the line because of an EOL penalty carried over from last week. Gavin Rogers up to 11. The 75 is flying right now, as he is just 1/10 off of what Zach Hall's pace is, but the 75, he's got so much work to get by all this traffic. I think it's once we see that next pit stop that Rogers will really start to strike our top 7 to top 8.
And all the viewers that heard it live, Zach Hall, our stage winner, he talked about it. He was watching the times of practice, and he knows the average speeds are very similar. So if the 75 can't get to track position, if we do get another caution and he's able to get up there inside the top 6 on a restart, Zach Hall would be looking in his mirror and maybe not seeing Ryan Kelly anymore, but it could be the 75 machine. But don't count out Ryan Kelly either, because trust me, there's times up here all season, Sam, where we've talked about Ryan Kelly thinking, oh, maybe it's not his night, and then all of a sudden we get deep into that run and he keeps flying forward in a hurry.
Yeah, I think if Ryan Kelly keeps himself in this position, he's got a good chance. Here's a battle deeper in the field in 25th position. It's Dakota Moniz, Ali Fonseca, drivers that are allies, friends in the Monday Night ISRC series, as they're on an off week heading into Labor Day weekend. These drivers are going to be trying to play nice, but get a little bit mixy. Also, you have Andrew Medlin in the mix for the 26th.
On Stitz, we got some making up to do, man.
Big slip up. Once was in 14th before the
I'm following you. Lead the way.
Fell all the way down to 27th position yet to get this time back. Other drivers deeper in the field as hard contact for drivers in the back. This is that rough thing for drivers that don't like Darlington.
Stop saying good luck every week. It never works.
At the same time.
Yeah.
It really does. Sometimes if you get it just right,
might come up with something new.
Other times it just beats the car apart. And you're seeing right here on screen.
Good riddance.
I
don't know. Or the opposite, you know, reverse psychology.
There, outside the top 10 back there.
Hope you get punted on lap 1.
But I have to ask you,
Yeah.
21st position, Vincent Soar, is that the kind of number you were expecting out of that?
Well, the reason why Vincent Soar so far back, he was actually caught up in that most recent incident that extended him in the back. He had to give up a lot of track time. A tough position for Vinny on the fact that he did not want to be dropped this far back, but also he didn't qualify well. He qualified 16th. That is the thing that's the most shocking, because Vincent Sora has won this race in the past. The last time that they were in this next-gen car at Darlington was back in season 5. Vinny dominated that race. Complete and utter dominance. He led 145 laps of 210. He got the pole, got into victory lane. Here this evening,
You're running 4th here in 1 too, yeah?
Yep.
He only had
Okay. I was running 5th in that first run, and I just
misspoke there with a
Yeah.
Right up more right front.
Yeah, I'm never shifting.
Vincent Sora, two-time champion, could be
Okay.
a threat of missing out on a
Outside,
transfer championship
outside.
if he doesn't gain enough points.
29.797, clear.
That's the challenge of this league. We talk about it being such a big league with so many drivers all season racing.
Nice
If you have
move.
a bad night, you lose so many valuable points, hard to gain them back. And then tonight, being a cutoff race,
I mean, he gave it up.
There's so many drivers out there that can win,
Yeah.
so you can't be safe.
It looked good from back here.
We'll say I was so intimidating.
In other leagues, but not in this one. Not with the competition.
Everyone's scared of the 15.
30.0.
Not just us anymore.
Trying to get a little bit closer to Ryan Kelly. Is he going to make that move and get up into 2nd place and try and run down Zach Hall?
I won't even say they're wrong to do that.
Point that's out on the line, most laps led. Zach Hall is aiming for that number. If he gets past lap 76 and leads all those laps, he will take that crown of leading a lap. Most laps led. Those are big bonus points to be grabbed for Zach Hall on top of his stage win. Leaf Hall, with the amount of drivers that have shown up here tonight, with all those bonus points, will be finding himself in a position to be locked in just based off of points. So that's a big kudos to 32 on his performance so far here this evening. I know everyone's looking for that win. That's what they ultimately want here at Darlington. I mean, this is one of those crown jewel tracks that so many drivers, look at the history of NASCAR racing and racing in general. This track, we talked about how odd its shape it is, an egg-shaped course, run into much wider and longer of a corner compared to the much narrower, slow down a lot more. But this course, there's some drivers, they circle it, they say this is the track, hold on.
Oh, I almost killed that guy. Yeah, wow, that was close.
Get behind the 61.
They kept sliding up the track. I was going on the outside, and they kept coming up, and I'm like, please no.
Gets there and
Just please no.
Hey, 4 tires.
I think my left rear quarter panel has a magnet.
Yeah, they never stopped after that, Ken. I had to go low. I had to brake so hard. I was side by side with Aaron, too.
Struggling. You've been on the outside. Watch out, though, on the entry of the corner. The 61 Bronson Stafford. It's empty to pass. Too much speed. Clips that left outside quarter panel. Drifts up to
That kills a
74.
lot of strategy.
And with oncoming traffic,
I've got
everyone avoids.
Bronson, you got to pass
That
me.
will bring out another green flag caution that will reset us. And this is that difficult spot. Yeah, I'm expecting everyone to pit. But these drivers have 4 sets of tires in pit road. Does someone risk or gamble taking 2 sets of tires here just to get some track position? Or do you all just take 4 and trust you've got a good solid machine underneath you that can get you up front?
Yeah.
It's a little interesting. Only 4
One of those guys up there look
right
pretty
now.
fast. I think we need to take another look at
They
it.
have 2 left.
Yeah, right.
5 away.
Wow, Sam, we get another caution here in like
Add your
25
mark
laps.
now. Turn in. Nice and smooth.
1 set left for those final 60, 65 laps. That could be really interesting.
Maybe we
right
can have
there.
their spotter
I'm
check in on
surprised
me
some
since
drivers in
they
the back maybe didn't say,
have
"You know
time
what?
to go and review that
Save a
shit.
set just in case we get a late restart later on.
There you go, watch his RPMs.
Yeah. I mean, I may have sped. I'm not saying I didn't. I'm saying I did not get a black flag. We have live race control that says he didn't see a black flag, clears it, and then goes back and is like, well, actually, after another caution, we're going to go back and do it. That's bullshit.
Up to 12th. seeing some of those drivers that had end of the line.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see your in-car, see like, you can't see speed on the in-car, right?
We're gonna take
Yeah,
our
you
first
can.
commercial break as we're
Well,
closing
oh,
in
you
on
can't,
halfway.
For the replay, you can go back and see my speed.
For more
So
great
you-
racing action
We can check.
from Darlington. You are watching the WSSR.
I bet you
Cup
touched
Series
46.
Season 9 playoff racing.
And that's what they saw, because, I mean, you can touch 46, though. They give you a mile per hour.
Yeah, well, they said I hit 50 on the
11
exit,
drivers moving on for a championship. We will be back.
which is possible. But you can go faster than the speed limit. So on exit, you can gas it up and then brake, and then it doesn't matter. Like, there's literally a video that I have on my YouTube channel that shows this. People, go watch it. But you can go faster than the speed limit and then brake, come under it, and it will not give you a black flag. So the fact that it's like, well, he touched 50, yeah, I may have, but you can do that.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, it's just the average of the segment, each segment.
Yeah, you did.
They got
Okay, well, I know somebody that doesn't watch my videos.
Yeah.
Stits.
I didn't watch that one video. I watch your videos. Most of them.
Don't worry, nobody did. It did not do well. But yeah, no, you can go faster than the speed limit, like on your way out, like coming out of your box. It's something crazy, like 9 miles an hour faster. You can like gas it up, brake really quick, get back to speed, and it won't matter. I do it all the time. So the fact that they're like, well, it did this, and it didn't say speeding either. It said excessive speeding. So to me, I'm like, okay, that means I was way over. But to not have a black, have live race control that has software that tells if you get a black, he says he didn't see it. He decided to clear it, and then they go back and retroactively do that. Man,
8.9.
race 3 of the season, somebody was speeding and they didn't get a penalty. I believe we have found the hill that I'm going to die on.
Must them give you a penalty for getting them to take away your penalty?
Yeah. Well, let's be real. There's certain drivers in here they would not have gone back and redone that.
Oh, no.
We all know this.
Buddy, let's get ready to roll here. Make sure your tires are cleaned off. Double check those belts.
All right, get punted into one.
You want to?
Well, I'm not going to say the other.
Green, green, green. $11.902 outside. Still out there.
One slow on the bottom.
Still out there.
I think my team
Clear
put the
high,
wrong
clear
tires
high.
on.
Caution
Oh,
down.
and trouble strikes
Did you hear any
further
static?
back in the
Like
field.
somebody was
Bye,
heating
Brian.
up.
Did I come up there?
Quite honestly, wasn't paying attention.
Close.
But that was turn 2K, not turn
Coming
1.
around the
Hey, Brian,
25.
tell me on the right
Coming
side.
around the
I think it's okay, but I don't know.
Thrown and
All right, you're gonna have to come around at 12. Come around at
seems easy.
77. Come around at 24.
Let's see,
Yeah, I
focus on
expected
7.
it just enough so I didn't foul the wall, but I know I got it a decent little bit.
snapping loose as
Pit road is open.
If it's anything, it's just a couple scrapes. I don't see any
The exit just snaps
malformation.
loose, uncomfortable, and as the 7 drifts back up, the 15 to Ken Campbell as well as Joshua Kanata.
I don't know, maybe we should ask somebody spotter if I
get
came
those
up.
Darlington stripes at some point.
With enough angle, we find that it's going to be a caution.
Car's driving a little weird now.
Incident already when we come back. Crazy to see as a replay is going to be showing another angle of this as we are back giving you coverage on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. My name's Sam Dyer. With me is Justin Malarkey and
Oh,
Justin.
I'm going to come in next time and see
right off
because
of
I'm
a
only losing
restart,
3 positions.
and we got another caution underneath.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you
Nick,
see
I
it right
figured out
after
a
the
little bit more
restart.
for me.
The 15, Ken Campbell, just right there. Joshua Kanata. You hate to see that, especially after restart these drivers on the fresh
25.
tires. It
Got
seems
the
like
lucky dog.
everyone's maybe just
I
misjudging
have
the
a
grid,
lap
but
car
right
coverage
there it
on the
seemed like
outside.
maybe just a simple misjudge of coming up the track, coming down the track, coming out of the corner. I think he called it
All right, we
perfectly.
need to be behind the
But right now,
25.
is anyone going to come in and top off on fuel, Sam? We were talking about it under the break there. we're thinking 70 laps in fuel, so right now that would be
Earl,
lap
please try to
80
get a look
to
at the front
150
end
would
and
be
see if it's
70.
fucked up or not.
But if
Looks
you
that
top
way.
off now and ride
Got
around in
some right
here on the
side
caution,
damage.
can you save a couple laps of fuel and make it on
Right
not
side
stopping
damage, but I got
anymore?
full
It could be a strategy
RPM,
play for
so.
someone in the back. Maybe a driver like Joshua Canada.
Anyone going to Darlington this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of strategy points that drivers could take. I think that that's the one thing I've been kind of shocked about with how I think there's
Still
a little bit
working
of
on it.
fear of with how
Trying to get
close
some
points are to the
hospitality
cutoff
stuff for
line.
Goodyear.
You
We'll
don't
see.
want to put yourself in a position that
Come
you can't
around
get
to
positions
16.
back. But with how close everyone is, you kind of need every bonus point you can grab. And I've been shocked to see not as many drivers
I might ask for
went
him
under
too late,
pace.
though.
I thought for sure
We'll
when
see.
we had our first stage, when we had our first attempts for drivers going to
Y'all
pit
coming to
road,
the two?
that drivers were going to take a chance maybe to stay out, lead a
Yep.
lap if you're
Good to
further
go.
back in the field, but we
I'm
never saw
following you
that.
down pit road
Instead,
here.
it's been Zach Hall leading every single lap, but so
Right
far
away.
this season,
That's
it's
dead.
been a lot of
That's your
some drivers
mark.
willing to risk it,
Come on, man, turn into it.
others not.
It's nice and easy here.
5 drivers have been really feeling confident
We'll fix you up.
entering
26
It's
seconds.
been our top
Yeah,
5
I got
I had
runs.
49 and I wasn't even in the main race.
He's been up front all night long. Same for the Yin Yang drivers of
24
Ryan
came down on
Kelly
me.
and Larry Yingling. And then seeing John Forbes, he's had his just outside of the top 5 moments, but he's currently in 4th, and seeing as well the likes of Shane Terrian. He's going to be trying his
Where's
best
Pete's car at?
to stay up
They're
front
in
with some
3.
big bonus points
Okay.
throughout the stage
Go, man,
break.
go, man, go.
Shane was one of the 4 drivers outside looking in entering tonight who needs a big points day.
I think the big driver that I'm looking at is
You're going to be coming
8
around.
seconds left. You think I have time here?
He's been able to make some passes and slowly get up
Where's
there.
it at?
This time
Yeah.
he was running 11th
Yep,
and 12th
okay.
at
You
can
first,
pull
and then
out
coming
with
in
like
9th,
3-4
10th,
seconds to go
all of a sudden
on your relative.
Yep.
inside the top 5. So is he a driver who is going to continue to make his way?
All
up
right,
there?
got it all
Is he-
fixed
Is
here.
nighttime the right time for him? I guess is what I'm asking.
Coming to 1 to go, boss man.
I'm curious
You'll be
to
starting on the
turn
outside.
on the sun's
Lining up behind the 74.
and cool off just slightly. And you know, you talked about it, Justin, on who would be willing to
17.517.
get a little bit of extra in their tank to maybe try risking it a little bit further. Well, 2 drivers did try to come into pit
Did you
road.
come up,
a
Ken?
total of 4 actually.
Do what?
2 that for sure just topped off on
Did you look at it?
fuel, being Nick Crawford
I didn't
and
look.
Aaron Smith
Yeah.
the second, both
Oh.
just topping off.
I just got
on
it all
fuel.
fixed, and
Ken Campbell.
I mean RPMs are fine, so
Some slight repairs
the wheel feels
done
like it's tugging to the
as
right
well.
a tad, so
Fuel
I'm sure that's going to be
topped
fun
in.
to
Cody
drive.
Reed, who currently has 3 laps down, has been trying to get every lap back to get back for a fighting chance. Currently, he
Apologies
also
if I blinked there
took
for a
some
second.
service,
Should be
but
good now.
Everyone else, they're getting ready. They just got a
Clean 'em
quick
up real good.
restart with a quick caution. These tires are even colder than what they were before. But does that mean some
Yeah, bro.
drivers are willing to make
Hey,
some
the car's
risky
off,
moves? It's time to find out. Zach Hall, Ryan Kelly, your front row, ready to bring us back to the green here at Darlington. Your elimination race
Green
for
flag,
the first
green
round of the
flag, green
playoffs
flag.
is back underway as we're zoomed across over to the halfway zone of this race.
6.50.
Quality immediately jump to that outside line, get a great entry going into the corner, continue to lead this race. Just going to keep those drivers side by side behind him. Larry Yingling going to come out of the corner, but John Forbes is going to get in front of him, and Larry Yingling could not get a good corner exit at all. He's going to lose a couple spots as he was stuck down on the inside, and that really hurt
high.
the 9 of Shane Terrian.
Shane Terrian getting a little bit antsy as he makes some contact with the 07 of Brian Noel. Noel will slot in front.
Outside.
Of Gavin Rogers, but it's all Zach Hall up front. Hall is 2 laps away from taking the most laps led bonus point. It's only 1 bonus point, but you'd love to get every point possible to make sure if you somehow, for some reason, get caught in the mess later on in this race, you are still set with points
Still
out
out there.
entry tonight and the
They're
extra
outside.
bonus points on stage and leading laps. As Terry and Hunter Bourne,
You're
this is
outside.
now going to become a battle for drivers just outside of our top
Outside.
10 as Troll
Outside.
behind. Bronson
In and
Stafford
out.
goes scattering to the inside pit wall. Will stay green
Still
for
there.
now as the
Outside
61.
31.017. Clear high, clear high.
That was almost bad.
Green.
It was, yeah. We all got around back here. Lost some track
Back
position,
to
but
27th position.
And just like that, John
They
Forbes, he was
survived.
trying to battle for Ryan Kelly and Metz had a little slip up. Now he's under pressure. Ed Shearer Jr. is going to drive up there in the 3rd spot. And don't look now, but we have a new 3rd place driver who's been slowly moving forward all night.
Nice
Is
exposure,
it
fellas.
the right
Long way
time
to
for
go.
Ed Shearer Jr. up to 3rd position? position, and also Tom Senchak having a great restart up to 5th position. These drivers are now making the moves.
It's been Lucky Ducks really just slowly chipping away, moving forward of Edward Shore Jr. and Brian Noel. And Gavin Rogers, with having a 7 in his numbers, has kind of been moving along with them as Tom Senchak under fire from the 07 of Noel. But Edward Shore Jr., that 71 machine, I mean, Justin, we know desperation will kick in at some point. With Zach Hall leading every lap so far, he officially takes the most laps led bonus point for the 32 machine. Now everyone else is just looking for the bonus point of leading a lap, if possible. That's going to be the big thing. Zach Hall's competition looks to finally be here. Maybe another caution, another set of tires, and they'll be right back in the mix for a chance to pressure this 32 that it seems like every restart we have, that lead, it's a little bit smaller on how big he blossoms
Still out there.
29.5, Ryan Kelly, a great long-run driver, just getting through halfway through this race. He might not even be showing Zach Hall what he has yet. So that's something that the 32 might have to deal with later on as this 3. Look at this, getting into the corner, starting to flex that muscle, getting closer to the 32, keeping him in that mirror, making Zach look up and glance at him every so often. Ryan Kelly keeping that pressure, but he's got the pressure behind 71 and Shearer Jr. as well.
29.
Pressure for second place is underway. Edward Shore Jr. giving his first attempt, going for second place, and he'll lose a little bit of a wiggle there. And with that loss of momentum, it's now giving a chance for a couple of drivers. Tom Senchak thought about going 3 wide. He backs out of it. John Forbes, though, is going to stay to the inside quarter panel of Edward Shore Jr. And Noel, with that little bit of hesitation for the 26, thought he had a chance to go up, moving for 5th place. They all get in line. No change in position. Certainly a dramatic lap that we got to see there.
It really is. It's like that accordion effect that we talk about. One driver loses the momentum, the other one pulls out but not able to make the pass, and then it just trickles all the way back through the field because they're running so close together, especially with the temperatures cooling off. Maybe it's going to keep these drivers even closer together, and that's just going to cause for these tires to heat up and maybe potentially wear out even sooner with them racing harder. I would have to say, Sam, I think with the track cooling down, the speeds are probably picking up a little bit, so that might just put a little bit more pressure on those tires.
I mean, put a little bit of pressure. I'm also looking at some of these drivers. Brian P. Johnson, one of our bigger movers of drivers inside of our top 10. Other big movers, Edward Shore Jr. up 17 spots from where he started. John Forbes up 14 spots, and Johnson up 12. They've all been moving forward from where they qualified. Behind Johnson, though, is Tom Bourne, who qualified pretty well for himself up in 9th place. Lost all that track position after an early spin. 10th. Also behind them, you have Vincent Sora further back in 13th, and they're just keeping it close all around for this field.
We're right there on board with Brian P. Johnson. It sounded like he maybe slid up into the wall a little bit. Didn't really affect his momentum, but it just shows you you're running so close to the wall, and eventually sometimes it just kind of reaches out and gets you, and that's why they call it the Lady in Black. But Zach Hall right now is taming that Lady in Black. Half a second lead over Ryan Kelly now. We saw a little bit of pressure from 3 in the beginning of this run, but now Zach Hall starting to open up that gap just ever so slightly. Ryan Kelly, he's really got the pressure from these drivers behind. He's got to be careful. You don't want to get past and then get hung up there, maybe out of line, because these drivers right here, there's 3 or 4 of them right behind, ready to pounce if anyone messes up.
Yeah, it's these long trains of 5 to 4 drivers that really kind of get you in the weird feelings of one little slip up could collect multiple drivers. We've seen already local wrecks of one driver getting to the outside wall, maybe getting spun around on the field, be able to avoid with how wide this course is. But everyone knows this Darlington track could collect multiple drivers if anyone gets a little bit too antsy. And with the kind of aggression that we're going to see from Edward Shore Jr., same for Ryan Kelly and John Forbes. I mean, none of these drivers are considered safe with the way that they're running right now, because if Edward Shore Jr. somehow gets by these drivers and wins, it could come down to 1 to 2 points on who's moving on from this collective group that we see up front.
Yeah, that's what makes it really, really exciting. And I feel like the 71 has a really legitimate chance to win this race. I think he's faster than Ryan Kelly right now. I think if he could get around him, he might run down Zach Hall. The question's going to be, is he abusing the tires right now? Is he running too hard on this car? That's something we're going to find out. We're going to find that out maybe in about 15 more laps. But right now, the 71, he's definitely got speed.
definitely does. And I continue to stay as well as they can. This field, 86 laps in the books. As we are officially in the second half of this run, and all drivers a lot looking for a chance here tonight. And again, talking about those that topped off on fuel as the wiggle up next to the corner, I'm looking at Aaron Smith second, Nick Crawford. Both those drivers topped off. They're still deep in the field. I'm curious if maybe this is a strategy call. Save fuel, run a little bit slower than what the rest of the pace is, because you know tires are going to be important, fuel's going to be important, but it just looks like for the 70 machine, he's been caught up in so many wrecks here tonight. The damage is what's holding him back.
I think you're spot on. I think it's a perfect strategy.
Would you say a full fuel run was, Ken?
Like around 70 or something. We can't make it right now because I
$7.3.
topped off and I'm still short.
A little bit of a tire too to make this long run.
Yeah, it's like 75, 76 laps somewhere in there.
Right there, engine gets a little quiet. That's gonna.
I wasn't
he's
giving you
gonna
the
be able to
ball.
save that fuel. He's been doing it since the beginning. We're assuming.
Thank you, guys.
You do that, he's gonna be able to save 5-6 laps of fuel.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you're saving the fuel. You're doing your best
My
to
fault.
dress shut off and clutch and do everything in your power to
Pretty
save
good.
fuel. The big thing is how much time are you willing to lose compared to the rest of the field. Right now, every lap that passes, it's 4/10, 3/10 that you're giving up to the leader that continues to pull away. And every other lap, you find yourself grazing the wall. And damage is something that iRacing has worked on a lot on how it reacts to these vehicles. It used to be kind of a glass cannon where these vehicles were so fast, but you touch the wall once and your race is over. And now it's gotten to a point where these next generation
29.781.
at the wrong angle, you could break a wheel well. You can
God,
break
it
a
gets so
lane.
tight behind him
You
in
can
1 and
have
2.
significant damage that will not even allow you to save fuel and be running fast enough to be competitive. So 70 machine needs to be careful. Also, again, Nick Crawford, part of that strategy of trying to save fuel to see if they can stretch it to the end of this race, if possible, as the field continues to race on. You can see there Crawford, he's also clutching it a lot further along than what we're even seeing from Aaron Smith second, and Crawford's running faster.
That's just adds excitement right now to what will happen as this race stays green. These drivers, they don't want to get too far back, like you said, though, Sam. I mean, 5, 6, 7 seconds back, maybe 10 seconds back max, because when Zach Hall, Ryan Kelly, Ed Sheeran Jr., when those guys bolt on those fresh tires, they're going to be making up probably 5, 6, 7 tenths of a second just each lap on tires. Plus, but they're already, those guys are saving fuel. They're losing 4 tenths of a second. You're talking maybe 1.5 seconds a lap. You better have a big gap if you're going to try and make this race all the way without taking tires.
92 laps to be completed for Zach Hall here tonight. He has been on cruise control up front. And see where the chaos kind of mounts up. It's Shane Terry and Tom Bourne from Sky Motorsports staying side by side. They're being pressured from Vincent Sora. This is the battle for 10th place.
30.224.
And that is a cluster up there, isn't it?
Oh, it's awful.
Black and red and white machines. That's Tom Bourne on the outside, Vincent Sora on the inside, side by side, and the rest of the field want to get on by. As Sora stays low and is hoping to make this pass cleanly, but Tom Bourne, he almost gets in that outside wall, trying to keep position, but just not the case. The 06 losing time and might lose another position.
Losing time, losing positions, but
30.041.
what they want to be doing. But the problem is, you got to get around and just racing side by side right there. Cedric Hunter, 06, Tom Bourne, they're going to get into each other. Are they going to get in again coming out of this corner? No, they're able to give each other space, but look at that. Passing now to Cedric Hunter. He didn't want to lose that momentum, so he was able to pull right there up in front of Christopher Norris, but that's what makes this track so challenging. Hunter's going to try and get right back to the bumper, but now he's going to have Chris Norris to his outside. So that's going to add a drama to this turn 1 entry for
29.977.
So trying to get by his teammate, using a little of the apron. More space to drop down low when that pass will be completed. As we're battling for 10th place, Shane Terrian and Vincent Sora now get close to one another, as Brad Candy was right on board with, not able to make any moves forward for himself behind them. Douglas Newbiggie, GT Rosari, they're close, but Vincent Sora almost able to make the pass
by the way,
for that 10th place position. Douglas Newbiggie, again, driver that found himself another kind of self-throwaway of a race. A good run.
Hell, he was straight. I was trying to help.
A self-spin ships him to the back that he has to pull the rest of the race to try to even salvage that top 10 finish.
That's going to be the hard thing, but it's just how hard it is to pass. But right here, he's trying to make the move to the inside under Chris Ditz. Got to grab that gear. You see right there, he's in gear 4. Is he going to come out of here, accelerate? Not going to be able to do it. Can't stay side by side with the 17 in the corner. It just shows how hard it is to pass right here. 5th gear, expect him to go down to 4th. Not going to do it though. He's going to stay in 5th coming out of this corner.
And when you're this close, I think it's more so of if you get too big of a run, as GT Rosari saw in the mirror, slicing down the inside, you're more so of just trying to salvage your way off the exit of the corner, shifting down into 4th, but into the wall. It's going to be Douglas as he keeps his foot in the throttle. Theory, the momentum. Good enough through the exit.
Still inside, even up.
You're trying to just stay close.
You're clear. Inside.
If you go too fast, you can run each other over, and you're losing more time than gaining.
Oh, you do not want to ever be losing time, but unfortunately, Zach Hall just keeps pulling away from people. Speaking of time, he's now got it up over 7/10 over Ryan Kelly. It was under 4, about half a second for the whole run. You can see that gap growing out here on track. Right here we get this great view. And that's what the drivers want to see when they're leading a race. Just an ever-growing view. The guy behind you is now 8/10 growing. Ed Shearer Jr. is 1.7 seconds back. So Zach Hall, he's got extremely long run pace, but more importantly, he's also got the short run pace. He's a really fast car right here tonight.
He really is, and I think the big thing that Zach Hall can be giving kudos for, John Forbes Jr. holding back Gavin Rogers as many laps as he's done so far, as we now start lap 100 from 2/3 of tonight's race. It is about to be completed as 75 spent all race long to finally be inside the top 5 and finally moving up to 4th place. There are just 2 more spots before he can say, I'm hunting down Zach Hall for that top spot.
And it will be fun to see what these 2 drivers do as they get closer to the pit stop. When do they make the pit stop?
This is close there.
Yeah, it's about to clear up though.
Out there in front and then make the other driver
Still outside, clear outside.
later and have the fresher tires and try to run down.
30.907.
Fun to watch, but don't rule out 71 or the 3 because they've also been running inside this top 5 for quite some time now.
And looking at drivers that are going to be in a weird spot fuel-wise and tire-wise. It's most of the field. Again, we have 50 laps to go. And based off the numbers we were given, the field could be 6 to potentially 7 laps behind when they need to go into pit, get service done. And that's a tough spot to be. But one driver we can call into pit road, Tom Thorne in the 06. The first hit pit road on lap 101.
So I do like that call from him, though.
Copy. I
If
pulled
this
into
race,
if
he
you
feels right now,
planning on disconnecting or not.
why not go and
You
get
can
those
find
tires?
something, man.
You can do.
Find a little something there.
You never know, Sam. You go in and get those tires right now. You come out, running fast for 10 laps. Maybe the other guys start to pit, and all of a sudden he can cycle to the lead, and then you get a lucky caution. Maybe he gets track position, and everyone comes in and uses a set of tires again for the final 20 lap shootout. You just don't know. So it could be a great gamble that could pay off.
Couple of big moments that we just had at once. You saw the almost collisions of this group that were 2-3 wide for a quick moment, and also the pass for 3rd place was made. Gavin Rogers now has made his way past Edward Sherwood Jr. in a very quick sprint around, and a couple of more drivers think about pit road. Next one into his pit stall going to be Brian Noel in the 07.
30.3.
Drivers are not saying over the radio they're coming into pit road, nor in the driver chat. This is just a send it and hope that this call is the right one.
That's always hard when you're out on track and someone doesn't call it out. You gotta not, obviously you don't want to run them over, but you run that risk. If you don't decide to call it out, you get run over. It could end your night. With the 75, you talked about it. We're gonna start now watching that time, 2.7 seconds. He's got a clean track. So will he be able to make get any closer to that call? He's gonna have to get around Ryan Kelly first. Right now, it's staying at 2.7 to 2.8 seconds.
Looking at Zach Hall's lap time, there really hasn't been a big enough fall off to where I'm concerned about him being run down. I mean, Hall is running incredible pace. He's still running 30.3 second lap times. Everyone else in the field, there's maybe 3 other drivers that are running close to Hall's lap times. Everyone else is 2 to 3 tenths slower than Hall. Zach's going to try to continue to build up this lead, but it's once we get new tires that all this could change. You saw there in the back, and might have just heard it was John Force slapping the wall for himself. Other drivers into pit road is Shane Terrian in the 9 machine getting service done. And for everyone that pits, they are banking on this race to stay green, because every time you go into pit road, you're going at least 1 lap down.
At least 1 lap down, but you're adding more and more cars out there that are on really fast tires, and you're going to have to be really careful going around drivers out here on older tires, plus some of those guys that are also clutching, getting into the corners, slowing down a little bit more. So it's going to be really challenging for these drivers to make sure that they don't run over each other. But I think, like you said on the previous couple laps ago, Gavin Rogers is now 3.1 seconds. So Zach Hall, he's worried about the 75 because he knows he was fast, but he's also knows that he's got really good long run speed. I think the big thing, Sam, is going to be when they all have equal tires. Rogers has been passing cars all night, using a little bit of tire passage time. When they get equal tires, will that be the opportunity that the 75 needs to run down that 32?
So I'm looking at how much time's going to be left in this race. Everyone that's pitting right now, they're hoping to build up a big enough gap that our leaders, once they decide to go into pit road, weren't able to run and catch up to. And looking at drivers that made the decision of trying to stay out to pitted on that last caution we had of being Nick Crawford, Aaron Smith second. I'm looking at their difference of pace compared to those that just pitted. Will they be ran down? Because Brian Noel, as well as going to be Tom Bourne, they're going to be doing their best to catch up to that 70 and 74, which is going to be, I think, a good picture of what's the strategy of trying to save fuel on this last caution the better strategy, or was it to stretch it out your pace, keep the track position, and just go full bore to the end of this thing? As we're coming up to 40 laps to go, the call to come to pit road or not is going to be looming for a lot of these drivers, but this is going to be one of our final times, I think, to really have a chance to go to pit road. Go for a commercial break. So we're going to take the chance here as Christopher Norris is heading to pit road, as we are going to be finding ourselves.
Decide if I want to run it longer, come in a pit.
So you don't miss a thing. You're watching the WSSR Cup Series.
Here it's easier to hold people up than it is to pass.
Race number
30.518.
We'll be back.
Yeah, it's really waiting on or hoping for a caution if I stay out.
.706.
Hands fitting, I'll come in.
Here we come. 10 away. 5 away. At your mark now. Straight in here. Leading on me. Oh, we are not fixing it, so.
That's 46 a couple times. Probably gonna get a black. That's not a black.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Sorry, Larry.
We were running out of tires. Pitting behind you. Outside. Clear high.
I'm pitting right here. .163 outside. Leader pit road.
Still outside. Clear, clear. .944.
I was so confused on where you was.
Sorry, Aaron, I didn't mean to get in your way there.
And it's all good.
Hey Zach, sorry if I slowed you down, but it wasn't intentional.
29.95.
No, good GT.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are still in the middle of green flag pit stops, and you're seeing those with fresh rubber just cruising by on the inside. That extra grip just able to make drivers make some pretty big moves. Right now, Ryan Kelly yet to pit. He is still out there on track, trying to have the biggest advantage on tires later on in this race. It might be banking on it if a yellow flag comes out. Zach Hall, Gavin Rogers both hit pit road, though. 2 laps to go together, and Hall currently has now moved up to the first driver leading this race that found themselves pitting so far of the green flag pit stop cycle. And looking at some of these drivers, the sequences, Kelly is in a spot where Justin and I were talking about it during our commercial break. How long can Kelly stay out? Because there is an advantage for staying out for extra grip for a longer run, but there also is staying out for too long, and it's too big of a gap to even run down and catch up to your other competition.
Yeah, my big fear for Ryan Kelly would be is even if he does have 10 lap better tires than the guys in front of him, if he gives up 5, 6, 7 positions on track, you just hurt your tires trying to make those spots back, and will he be able to run down Zach Hall even with the newer tires? Is there going to be enough laps left? But Sam, we were also talking about there's so much action going on in this race with strategy. Is how about those guys that decided to stay out for fuel? Is now Aaron Smith the leader?
29.995
and then Nick Crawford and I believe also Josh.
Clear high, clear high.
Those 3 drivers, I believe, are the ones that stayed out, and they're trying to stretch it on fuel. I think those drivers might be in good shape to potentially get this victory if this race stays green. We only have 30 laps to go.
Yeah, we thought maybe Canada was going to be a part of that. Can confirm he actually did not come in and top off. The only drivers that topped off on fuel that are still out on track is Aaron Smith II and Nick Crawford. Crawford, though, we saw he's been a little more aggressive on pushing his speed early in this run. In the 74, bid him now. He is now running 3/10 slower than Aaron Smith II. That was willing to save his tires, save his fuel a little bit more aggressively earlier in a run, just enabled him to stay currently in 5th place on the board. We do some quick math of Zach Hall, who's still technically 1 lap down, but from where Zach is to where we find Aaron, it's about 15 to 16 second difference that Hall still needs to run down to catch up to the 70 machine that is staying out, presumably until this race is over if we stay green.
That will be fun to watch as these laps tick away. We know Zach Hall has a fast car and he's got the tires, but the big problem's got to be, is he going to be able to get around this 70 machine? Will the tire difference eventually equalize enough that he's not gaining enough time per lap? The laps are taken away with 26 to go, coming to 25 to go. I mean, this is going to be really close.
It's going to be extremely close. Also looking at Gavin Rogers, who was looking like one of the threats for Zach Hall, who's been marching his way from the back of the field with his EOL penalty to the front. Gavin Rogers has been trying every big move possible, making 3 wide passes, making daring moves in and out. Right now, trying to get by drivers that have yet to pit. Of Yingling, of Noel, and John Force. As you take that back, Noel has pitted already. It's just his tires are so much older, and Right now, Gavin Rogers still 3.5 seconds back from Zach Hall. He's lost a second since going into pit road and having all this traffic to get by.
Now you have to really start wondering what is
Couldn't
the
block him
call for Ryan Kelly.
Oh, sorry.
As long as he is.
Nah,
you're good.
If he does come in, he's only going to get
You're good.
I made a pit road error.
23 laps on those tires. I mean,
29.437.
good for about 25 laps. So right now has even less laps.
You know that yellow line at the end of the pit road?
So I guess the strategy is open for that.
Yeah. I missed it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, that is the big thing. I was trying to do the math of even
The
if there was
40-second
tire
hold.
fall off, when would you want to pit?
I think if you uncheck everything, it turns into 15.
Caution is out. This is what
Are you kidding me?
exactly Kelly was looking
Wow, I just
for.
got wrecked.
Oh, Gavin Rogers, they're all
That's
still
freaking
trying to
wonderful.
lock
Be lining up
down.
behind the
We have
17.
8 drivers left on the lead lap.
Who wrecked you?
Should've known to stay out.
We're gonna have to come around to
16.
12,
Come right behind the
16 and
17.
5.
He can't make this shit up.
Changes everything, and I have to wonder.
That kills a lot of
Cedric, I was going to pit that lap, and I didn't
Yeah,
realize
we've
it
all
was
got to
inside,
take the
and
wave
you
around.
really
Are you
did
okay,
it.
or are you killed?
Aaron Smith.
Made ball.
Oh.
No
problem. Cars on the lead lap.
And the bad luck hits all 3 drivers.
That he could potentially do.
Zach Hall will get the lucky dog.
No, I
spot.
literally just didn't see you there. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna pit. I got passed,
The
so.
incident and its playoff implications as Joshua Kanata trying to keep his nose.
I should
out of
intentionally
trouble.
get a black
He
flag
was
just so
banking
that they
on
can see
caution,
that it
and
does pop up on my
instead,
screen
drivers that
if I get
pitted
one.
for tires go for
Yeah.
an overzealous move, and Andrew Medlin wasn't expecting to wash up. I think Kanata maybe coming down, and both looked for the same real
That
estate
essentially just
collision, and that is heavy damage for the 12, who's been having a rough night, and for
one of the top 8 drivers to race because
I think he might have
no one
gotten
else
some
has
further
tires.
damage,
Well, we'll take the
not
wave
rear
around,
damage,
and
like
then
it is
if
for
there's an
Medlin,
early
and also
caution,
Bronson
everybody comes in and
Stafford,
gets
who's
tires.
in
We
pit
lost
road.
our track position, but
I mean, but
we
I
will
don't
be
think
on
anyone
the
has
same
tires
lap.
He made
I've got
a
one set
strategy
left.
call to stay out, and
How-
he's gonna
how
have
do you have
zero
a set left?
competition
What?
on pit road right now.
Hell, I don't know. Probably how I'm
Speed,
cheating, just like
he's
with the
gonna
black
have
flag.
to
So
lead out.
32.
they'll probably review that too.
See him back
We're gonna have
there,
a
so
lap down car
I am
coming.
shocked on that because now I would imagine a lot of guys would take the wave around.
Oh, you know what? I think I took tires when I wrecked.
I thought maybe he was
And
gonna
I was
do
like,
that because he
yeah.
was guaranteeing
I
himself.
did not.
Like you said, Zach Hall would get in the free pass, but then all those other guys would not get that lap back.
I mean, I understand where you're coming with that thought, but if you're Aaron Smith second, you got a chance to win this.
And yeah, I
race.
should have stayed
I mean,
out.
Even with all the
That-
damage you've been dealing
That
with,
would have worked
you're
out
still
well.
in a fighting opportunity. You're going to be 4th position once this service all gets done. for
But I
some
mean,
of
there's
these
going to be
drivers.
another caution just because people are on old tires and they're going to be pushing hard now.
Get tires.
Pit road's
reset,
open. There's a
get
truck
back
on the
up there
bottom
track
here in
and
one.
have
Oh,
a
be a big
chance
pile up in turn
to
1, I
have
think.
Your best finishes possible.
If there isn't,
Everyone
well,
else behind
maybe
you,
2.
I'll be
They're
right.
going to have so much older tires. You're going to have an advantage over them to keep the position you're in.
This league never
very
ceases to
interesting
amaze me
right
on
there.
certain things. So.
I mean, it's one of those things. We'll see how it all plays out. Like you said, he's going to have a chance to win. I guess I was thinking maybe he had a little bit of damage from that earlier spin, but maybe it was mainly because he was saving fuel that he was running a little bit off pace.
As the field is getting set up, we take a look at some of the drivers and where they settle on this restart. Top 7 are going to be in a prime opportunity to take the back. Top 8 going to be in a pretty prime opportunity. Zach Hall will be sent to the end of the line, which will then turn it.
They're going to need to extend the lap with as many people as that are a lap down, taking the wave around.
Drew Jua, John Forbes Jr., Larry Yingley, and Ryan Kelly going to be on some of the freshest of tires.
I bet they don't, but
and
they should.
Zach Hall will be able to come into pit road and get tires. The only issue is to start the end of the longest line because he was rewarded the lucky dog spot.
Yeah, that's going to be the problem for him. It definitely won't be a chance for him to probably drive back to the front, but you never know. With only 20 laps to go, starting at the end of the longest line, he's going to put him back there in about, I would imagine he's going to be behind the lap down cars, with there only being 8. So he's going to be pretty far back there. Maybe about 20 cars are going to be in front of him on that inside of the line.
I mean, also with the amount of drivers taking the wave around, see if
And you know nobody's going to give up a spot now, so it's just going to get bad.
Lucky dog privilege.
People were giving spots earlier, but I don't think that's
Exactly,
going to happen now.
because you know Gavin Rogers and Noel, they all
Nope,
start
no
behind him.
more give. I'll take.
Yeah.
Cody Reed, Sticks,
I kind of want to join him in it, but being 3 laps down.
take the wave around as well. So looks like a majority of the
One to
drivers
go,
are
one
in
to
a lap
go.
down. taking
You'll be
the
lining
lead
up on the
round.
inside.
So that's going to be leaving us Zach Hall.
They're not going to go to the back?
17.
No, because we're all getting the wave around.
Yeah, but Zach
That's
Hall
right.
has to be frustrated right now because he's been such a dominant car. But with this race,
around the pace car.
we're expecting these drivers to be a little pushy on this restart. There could be plenty of opportunities to get back up there and have a great restart. But it's going to be Ryan Kelly, Larry Yingling on this restart.
And we're having to race on the wave around
Drivers
lap.
that are really good. A lot of respect between both drivers, but
could
it's going
bump
to be
you
a
and
battle
turn you.
between both of them to get those points. And
Honestly,
also,
I'd be doing you a
I
favor.
want you to.
Ryan Kelly, lead laps, he will get the most points.
Yeah.
36.861.
Kelly entering tonight just
I was thinking about just pulling the pit road and going grabbing his drink and then coming back out.
The second is Shane Tyrion.
All right, old boy, clean that things up. Give those belts a tug. You're ready to rock and roll here.
The fluidity of drivers' positionings moving. We don't have the
Race
exact
cars off.
number
Be
where the
ready.
drivers are at, but
Ready.
the field is still
Ready.
catching up to our leaders as we get ready for this restart. This is going to be a tough one for the drivers further on back, but up front, Ryan Kelly, fresh rubber and clean track ahead. We are green with less than 20 laps to go
Well, let me turn
here
one
at
here, too.
Darlington.
thank you.
And then Darlington right here. John Forbes going to drive it in hard. We've seen him be really fast, ultra aggressive on his restarts. Now he's up there.
Thank you.
He has cleaner air. Is he going to be able to clear Larry Yingling? I think he's not going to be able to do it coming down his back straightaway. He's actually going to potentially lose the spot to Drew Jewell, who's now back inside the top
outside.
Drew Jewell was able to muster his way forward, giving a huge
Still
push to
there,
Larry
outside.
Yingling on the back stretch.
Clear,
but
clear,
it's
clear,
all
clear,
Ryan
clear.
Kelly ahead. And what big passes can you make? This is the first time Zach Hall is going to be around competition where he needs to pass them. As he's got
30.2,
Joshua Kanata in the outside wall to give him a chance for the 32 to move up to 7th position. Kanata, Hall, they're bumping off one another, just coming off the exit of the corner for Zach Hall. He can't afford
On
a
the
big
bottom
wreck.
inside,
He's gained
in and
massive
out.
points, being up front all night long.
Sorry, Zach, I was trying to
Don't
break there as hard as I could.
It's Gavin Rogers now. Going to be trying to work the outside
No,
lane
you're
for
up there.
himself.
Still inside.
Rogers, 17-lap old tires, about 13 of
Still
them
inside.
under
Can't pass
green.
here.
Hall just having about 2
Oh,
laps.
no, it's
of
freaking
flag laps
awful.
under these sets as they continue to duel back and forth.
Zach Hall did class to the field tonight. He's got to be feeling frustrated
Clear low.
right now with the caution.
Inside.
Clear.
Damn it, Norris, how much room do you need, dude?
Clear outside.
Pull under here under on all he can take it.
Trouble though
Trying-
further on
That's
the
my
back
bad.
stretch, starting
I'm
to
sorry
cut
about that.
Ken Campbell gets spun
No,
around
you're
to
not.
stay green, but he is having trouble trying to get that machine rolling. But
How is that
Zach
not a
Hall now
caution?
putting pressure
Oh,
back on
oh,
us
you
for sake of eighth
all the way in the
place.
bottom.
Yep.
Hearing about that for Ken Campbell because he's a driver who was having a great run. Tonight.
They won't review that, though.
In the top 6, look at all he can take. Kind of
No.
stuck up there in the wall. Zach Hall gets ultra loose coming out of that corner. Luckily, able to
That was the
somehow-
third time he hit me.
I think all
It
he
was
can take
very
is
much
check down
intentional.
6.405.
Scary moment right there for the 32.
I mean, these tires being in dirty
Yep,
air,
I'm
this is a
watching
factor that Zach Hall has not been dealing with a lot here tonight. The only time that we've seen Hall really deal with lap traffic was when he got done with that green flag pit stop, and he was only behind drivers for a short period of time because
He got mad because he went down to the bottom on the checkup out of the backstretch, and I put him bottom 3 wide, and he didn't like it. And then he keeps coming up into me 3 different times.
30.035.
belts that you can make it to the end of this race and just salvage an 8th place finish. As up front, it is still all Ryan Kelly as the laps tick away.
Norris thing
Larry
to do.
Yingling has not been
Yeah,
catching
he
up to that 3 machine.
had a little hissy fit.
Drew has been kind of settling the all eyes for myself, kind of looming 4th place. What does John Forbes have? Trying to go for these passes once again.
As these drivers settle in, well, as we say that, looks like Nick Crawford going to try and make a move to the inside of the 11, and John Forbes not going to clear him coming out of the corner. But going back to what you were just talking about, Sam, I just wanted to hit on something. Back at Indy, we talked to Zach Hall, and he said that he felt he learned so much when he started in the back at Indy on how to pass, on how to conserve the tire, and how to drive and all that dirty air, that it was what enabled him to go out there and then drive.
I would love a caution.
Tonight, it's like the opposite.
God, I'm
Tonight,
seeing double.
he
Yellow in
hasn't
front,
learned
yellow
really
behind.
what to do in traffic. He hasn't had a dirty air in front of him. He hasn't had to deal with passing the car. And all of a sudden, you put him back there in a spot that he hasn't been in, and maybe he's kind of got to learn on what these cars are driving like in the dirty air and the dirty traffic, and it kind of caught him by surprise a few times.
potentially could be the big factor right now is that lack of experience that's hurting the 32. But a driver that's
They want to race aggressively. I beat them racing aggressively, and then they do a chicken shit move.
After being spun around multiple times, he runs in 5th. I mean, Aaron Smith, the second driver that was tied for that cutoff spot just outside of our 11th in points position. And the 70 machine wanting every point possible.
Oh, best part? There's no caution, so it's not even going to get reviewed.
Great finish could change.
I think you can submit stuff if I'm not wrong.
12, I mean, round of 11 for the 70 machine. And
yeah,
Aaron
we
Smith
know how that'll go.
He's been a driver that I feel like all season long, we know has speed, but it's been so under the radar compared to some of his teammates. I mean, Drew Jua runs currently in 3rd. We've seen Edward Shore Jr. have some shocking moments throughout the season. And right now, it's Aaron Smith the second trying to get a top 5 finish and hope and cross his fingers that it's enough points to move on to the next round.
You see the battle right there in front. Drew trying to get under Larry Yingling for that ultra important 2nd place position. But as those drivers battle, Ryan Kelly just continues to pull further and further away. It's a half a second lead, and that might not sound like much, but we know half a second there is very hard the way that this track just does not have the grooves that you can make up time as fast as you can at other types of tracks.
And looking at the battle that we were just talking about for 2nd place and 3rd, it looks like Drew
There's not going to be a caution,
who's attempting to make the pass for the 2nd place position. Backfires, he actually will lose a spot to 4th. Just showing if you're going to make a pass, you better hope that it works on that first go around. Otherwise, you might not just lose back to your
29.81.
Keep driving after that?
Huh?
Joshua Kanata,
Were you able to keep driving after that?
Yeah.
He's trying to pounce and attack on Kanata.
Really?
Yeah.
You killed the inside wall.
Trying to find the space
I'm a boss.
and momentum to work forward.
I'm losing to the leaders, but not by as much as you would think.
And Hall finally able to make the pass for 7.
I'm going to stay on the lead lap till the end of the race. So.
I wonder if he didn't have that slip up on the restart there when the 16 and the 32 were battling, would he have been able to make
29.907.
that he's staying right here with these guys. I mean, obviously we know how fast he is, but it's just again that lucky dog spot. I know he had to start a little bit further back, but I mean he's hanging right there. I don't know if he's going to be able to get up there and drive up into the top 3, but can he get a top 5?
It's going to be the big thing. 7 laps to go. Once we cross the line, it will become 6 for Ryan Kelly. We kind of noted on it earlier. Kelly's always a factor, and when he's up front, you know a win could be looming if other drivers have mistakes or the timing just lines up perfectly. And Ryan Kelly here.
Well, if you need to pass somebody, just spin them out of 2. Caution won't come out. Nothing will get reviewed.
Season of going for win number 3 potentially.
The free spot.
Yeah.
6 to go. Ryan Kelly looking great right now.
Well, if you do it, it'll get reviewed.
Really, Larry Yingling, John Forbes, that's what
30.029.
Watch, you're going to get penalized for it next week.
Doesn't want a caution, doesn't want any late race restart.
Like Denny getting penalized on his podcast. Oh, you said
front in
something.
top 7, I can't see them risking wrecking.
Yeah.
They all have valuable points. And then you see the big gap behind the rest of the cars out.
Forgot that happened.
Cars on older tires that took the wave around. Dave falling out of this picture. Sam's going to come down to these top 5.
Who is willing to make the biggest move, biggest splash for any big
30.015. Talk to me when you can, bud. Tell me what you think we need to work on the most.
Hey, Medlin, want to go for a ride?
With where you
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of tire wear under.
Oh, you scared.
To go for massive lunges to the inside.
Thank you.
The gaps are just perfect.
Yep.
If you're gonna make a mistake, you better hope that it's not a big enough one to cost you a position, because everyone seems to be in line. And for the 3 machine, as we come up to 3 laps to go, Ryan Kelly, he just is counting down each and every lap and banking on that white one to finally be thrown.
Waiting for those turns, counting them down. It's under 3 to go now. Just wants to get through this race, get that win, give him that momentum going into next week. That's always important. It's nice to come off a win. You see right there the lap car going to pull down off the track. That's the 12 of Andrew Medlin. We saw the heavy impact that brought the caution out. That changed this race for the 3. Right there. They're all getting by him. They're going to be Drew is going to try and make a move, but not do anything coming out of the corner. These drivers right now, they're kind of stuck, Sam. It's going to be hard to get those points, but we're coming to 2 to go.
2 laps to go here tonight for Ryan Kelly and the 3 machine. Larry Yingling as well. drivers that
Run
were
your
looking
line,
for
bro. You're
just
doing a good
a
job, man.
solid
You're catching them
day
in
for
front of you now.
some. Yingling was
The
pretty
gap,
solidified in his
2.6.
points battle. He just needed to go out there, run a consistent race. For John Forbes in third, for Kelly, who leads this race, it was simply down to you had to perform to be inside of the top 5 all night long. And with the white flag now out in the air, this race is official. For Ryan Kelly, he just has to hit his marks and he'll find himself in a victory lane and with no worries about the next round in points as everyone else is kind of scampering behind him. It's been the 3 settling in second, needed a caution to have a chance to win. It popped up in Kelly with the strategy to find himself with a win to move on to the next round.
And Larry Yingling in second. John Forbes going to end up third. Drew in fourth, and Nick Crawford going to.
You guys couldn't have wrecked one more time.
Ryan Kelly getting that.
Please.
Getting that momentum for the next round.
They only say that for pit cycles.
A massive run for Kelly and the rest of the field.
Sorry, Vinny and Brian, for racing you guys as hard as I did there. I just fucking 1 point below the cut line. I got to do whatever I can for points. I appreciate you guys racing me clean.
So close to keep up with.
Wish I could say the same.
It's not your fault that fucking car sucks, track sucks, tires suck, everything
I don't know,
sucks.
buddy. Nothing. Sorry.
Of 11.
All right, here's the results. Congrats to Ryan on the win. Larry for P2 and John for P3. I guess.
And now Ryan Kelly.
Yet another one. The season that keeps on giving.
Championship.
Thanks for
Round
watching.
of 11 will be